Hello and welcome. It's a beautiful morning. I don't even know what day it is. And you know what? That's okay. There's Paquita and Walkaway. We are still in Sardinia. This has been our favorite place that we've been to so far. Of course, it didn't hurt that the Irish lads were here. And Bob, who is, when he's not cruising around on Walkaway, is a marine mechanic. And wonderful guy, when he's not drinking all my beer, went and just been doing all kinds of work on the boat. And he worked on the dinghy the other day. We had a missing zinc. I had a little smaller one. I couldn't find it, but I have a whole bunch of these. These are for the water cooling section of the refrigeration. I got a whole handful of those. Put a new zinc on. We changed the propeller, and the other propeller's okay, but it's I noticed, you know, the problem with buying aftermarket stuff, the other propeller that I got when I wiped one out down in the Bahamas, was that sometimes if I'd be alone in the boat, it has a overspeed sensor on it, you know, a governor, and it flashes a little red light. And when I'd be alone in the boat, it would flash the red light as a speed limiter. So I bought a new propeller, another $60 wonder, but this time I added an inch of pitch. So this is the first time I'm trying it. Bob tried it out last night, but he doesn't have anything to go with because he hasn't done it before like I have. So I want to see how that does. I also want to see if adding that inch is going to mess up getting up on plane for Chrysalida and me. So put this thing in the water. One of the things that I always said that I would never spend the money on, but the boat is a electric start. The boat came with this outboard with an electric start, and oh my God, I forgot how. I don't think I can go back to a regular one after this. Well, let's go try it out. Take you for a little tour of the harbor here. The boys are sleeping as boys do. I think we're gonna leave today, do about a 17 mile run down the coast. I found a little caldera, I think they call it, a little cove, and it looks wonderful, but I imagine by the time we get there it'll be loaded with boats. As you can see, there's plenty of room over here on the free dock section. I don't know if that's the free dock section or what, but plenty of room on the marina over there. This is where the commercial boats are. I know our free dock section's over there, but anyway. Yeah, so more work that Bob has done. We sent him up the mast, and this time he went and I had gone up the mast to put the new tricolor light up there, and I didn't have the right bolts, so I kind of had it put in place. He went up there, found the right bolts, put them in place, neatened up the wires, made everything nice, neat, came on down. That was wonderful. So we're all happy about that. The boys are happy. All three of them took showers yesterday. And that was all good. We took showers too, and Chrysalida had done some laundry, so we're about half a tank right now. So when we get out of here, I'll be eager to make water. I can make water in the marina, but they say there's only two things that kill a membrane. One is chlorine, and the other is pollution, like petroleum products in the water. And you say, well, that should be on the surface of the water. Yeah, I would think so too, but all I know is that when I make water in places like this, you can see there's a little bit of sheen on the water from somebody's diesel. If I make water in a place like this, my pre-filters get really loaded up with stuff. So my plan is to get outside of the harbor, get good water, start making water all the way down to the little place that we're going. And I got a feeling that where we're going is going to be so open, I'll be able to make water there and let that water maker run. I mean, we probably need to make 150 gallons, so it's probably going to be like 15 hours of running the water maker. So that ought to be fun. You can see we're coming over here. They got big yachts, little yachts, they got everything. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous town. I can't tell you how much I've loved it here. I really don't want to leave. everywhere I've gone, I've liked where I've been, but I've been looking forward to going to the next place. Since we have been in Europe, this is the first time I really don't want to leave. But we haven't used all of our 5 nights, but the Irish may or may not have used them. So before we get in trouble, I think we should get underway. And it's always good to see other things anyway. I haven't seen any no-wake buoys, and I've seen people coming in here cruising right around. I actually throw a smaller wake when I'm in plane than I do when I'm just running around like this. But people might not be used to seeing a tender doing 20 knots in the harbor, so maybe we just go a little bit slower for a little bit longer. But you can see that's the entrance to the harbor right there. And then it's got this beautiful breakwater all the way around. We'll be headed off this way over here. Once we come out of the harbor, we headed right down due south, right down the coast of Sardinia. And it should be a good time. You see these red buoys? Those are actually, they're identifying the anchor or where the chain is, so that when they bring in these big ships, they pull that up and they attach the lines to them so they can back into the quay, I think they call it. Quay, I don't know. Everybody pronounces everything differently, it seems. You get used to it one way and then you go somewhere else and they say it somewhere else. All right, let's try this thing out. Oh, she jumped right out on plane. With one person, that's a big difference. And I don't see the speed limiter, the rev limiter is not blinking, so all of that is good news. All right, so now the next test will be to see how it goes with when I get Chrysalida in here. Obviously Chrysalida and I could get on plane with the other propeller, and in fact this propeller, the other propeller would get 3 people, like Runa, me, and Chrysalida up on plane, but Runa and I would have to lean forward to get it up over the hump. Anyway, pretty excited about that. Had another wonderful meal last night. Since the boys are here, we go out to dinner. Obviously, having 5 of us for dinner can be a big bill, so we've been cooking on the Kamado, and where we are, right up against the part of the seawall here where everybody seems to hang out, has been really fun because there's been 1 million people there. It's kind of weird, but everybody seems to crank different music, so we cranked our music, and I put the disco laser on. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not. I'll try to show that one night, but I've got a club laser, and it does all kinds of different shapes and animations and stuff like that. So I put that up high, and it would shine down onto the walking path. You know, I want to say the parking lot, but nobody parks there, but the walkway. And then we have these bubble guns. We're shooting all kinds of bubbles off. The kids are going crazy. The other night we had about 100 glow sticks, you know, the things that kids play with, and kids would come over, and everyone would come over to see the boat and all that sort of stuff. And last night we probably had 50 or 60 people just hanging out listening to the music. It was really, really kind of cool. And of course, I don't think the smell of wonderful barbecue cooking drove them away anyway. I think that kind of lured them in. That's what it was. Anyway, yeah, so after this we'll get going here, and I don't think we're going to do any sailing today because it doesn't call, the wind that's calling for is coming off the land, and so the land is where we're kind of in the wind shadow, and so I don't think we're going to be doing much sailing at all, but we'll run for a little while. That'll be good, and maybe I'll shoot some video for you, but if not, we'll definitely shoot some video from when we get down into the little place that we're going to. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one. I'm gonna hit this button.